Welcome and greetings, dear audience. Here we are again with another a topic, an interesting topic under our business professional masterclass with our honorable, respected coach Jana Balkin from Germany. And let's start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Esther Mahler, for the same opportunity as the last two times. So today on the seminar 3 about co-creating systems.
Yes.
Can you share, please, the presentation? Super, fantastic. Wonderful. Co-creating ecosystem about people, processes, and products. What we will learn today, we will try to learn to map the ecosystem, to identify the nodes, the flows, and the bottlenecks of this. What is very important to understand, where to start, and the first thing to improve something, to make something tangible. A design exchange, clarify value given and received. This means also to invite you in your teams again to exchange your ideas and a kind of experiment planning. So to commit to a 2 weeks learning cycle. This is something like, and the last two times I give you also again some exercises. You can just do it by yourself within your organization, with yourself, with your friends, family and friends also together. This is something where we can always also not just think in businesses, we also can adapt this to our private life, to our career plans, to our personal plannings and so on. And on the end of the session, you will leave with one concrete partner experiment you can launch within 48 hours. So that means I invite you just to listen, take also just a paper in front of you and start working with me on these activities as well. So move on this. Why ecosystems and from chain to network? So why it's important of this? It's the traditional linear value chain is evolving into a dynamic value network. So our networks are very, distributed. We have always, because of the vulnerability and uncertainties, we have always very unstable correlations and constructions currently in our systems. In our ecosystems, not just we, it's our partners, our employees, our customers as well. And around them, we have our other universe, the economy around us, which is also influencing our strategies, how we want to improve and where we want to be. And we are in a volatile environment, And to optimize a chain is too slow. We have just to find out the bottlenecks in it, where we can have really a visible impact on this. So rapid feedback is very important, So to get backwards, they come also informations from your partners, get the commitments from the partners, and get even the alignment between you and the partners. Maybe also moving into a shared risk, distributed investment and exposure together. So this means you need also a valid partner who is on the same value system like you as well. This where you have also to check in about the bottleneck. What is the bottleneck? Is it just to scale horizontally, or is it also about behavior purposes and so on? And then extended reach, access the new market via partners, is also to find out the right partners where you can be faster in a dedicated different market. And this is where ecosystems plays a really crucial role in our business life, in our personal life, and so on. So consider where your organization is currently optimizing a rigid chain that actually behaves like an unpredictable network. This mismatch is often the root cause of friction. How we will improve, or how we will improve, and how we will move onto this. To understand the ecosystem health, we must map the critical flows between people, processes, products, and partners. And who knows me? I like the P approach, the PPPP framework. Let me call it this way. Usually I speak about 3 Ps. Here I speak about 4 Ps because it's so crucial. Your organization, people, process, products, in context with your partners. And then we speak also about the supply chain. And the supply chain can have different behaviors, or you need also some some parts of providing your products or your services to your economy and to your system. Look specifically for handoffs, delays, rework, and operational blind spots. And how we do this, we focus on each of this piece and collect, for example, information, data, specs, and feedback loops. How often we get feedback from our customers, how often we ask for feedback of our customers, where we can improve, what we can improve, to find out the root cause, to find out what is really here the issue. Then we can speak about material, which goods, resources, and do you have an inventory of your materials, and what are all materials? One side of the material is just the good you have. On the other hand, material is even your services you are offer. Is the service full established? Is the service up to date? Is the service up and running? What will be next delivery cycle? You will be in time, yes or no? Are your developers with you, and so on? This is where you have also dependencies from the timeline. And when you want to improve customer satisfaction, you have to get feedback from the customer to understand this. And if you have a delay or a mismatch of your revenue plans, then maybe there's also something where you can improve this based on your framework when you map it out. Then it's also about trust. And this is sometimes an invisible currency of speed. Yeah, if there is not the trust in the system, then there's also not the openness about getting feedback from each other. Yeah, honest feedback and constructive feedback, professional feedback, how to improve this. And on the other hand, money, transaction value, and funding. Sometimes we need, of course, also money to go forward, move on. So there to find out which fundings are available on which market. To think about in your ecosystem, maybe there's a dedicated market, you get fundings because the governance is also implementing something here, and give money out. Maybe find an ecosystem partner in this market. They are allowed to get this funding from these governance bodies and so on, just to grow together. And this needs, of course, a trust level and so on. Which kind of methodologies in the context are available? And then we speak Agile meets the design thinking and the Lean. This is a combination of everything. So, and the design thinking, you can discover tools, use empathy and prototyping to ensure where we are solving the right problem for the user. And in the Lean startup methodology is the kind of the MVP, de-risk fastness. Yeah, formulate hypotheses, build MVPs, and pivot based on market evidences. Make the A/B testing with your market and so on. Not implementing the whole thing. Also have trust in yourself. Start small but think big. Yeah, and start with a minimum value product to go to market, to get to your customer and get direct feedback, and even to discuss this with your partners. And then the Agile delivery, deliver together, yeah? Establish a cadence, conduct demos, and run retrospective to ship value incrementally. And that means also from the Agile manifest point of view, we are very close with the customer. We get immediately feedback from our customers. And we deliver in a dedicated time, every time, a piece of the product on the end. And to this will increase trustworthiness of your organization that you are able to deliver in the time. And I usually speak of 3 months cycle. This is not really delivered with the Agile Manifest. The Agile Manifest speaks about from the development purpose in 14 days life cycles. Yeah. So this is what you say with your organization, what makes sense to deliver something tangible as well. So pick one of the practices from each methodology that you will commit to using across organizational boundaries this week. This would be your task number 1. I invite you doing this and try it out and find the first way with your people together and maybe your partners and your customer on the same table to move on and define your MVP to move on what could be your first next step in your product lifecycle. So how to do this? Activity number 1, ecosystem map and analysis, step-by-step instructions. Yeah, also draw your notes. What are your employees, your customers, partners, suppliers, regulators, and communities? They are building up your ecosystem. They are related of yourself, your 3 Ps of your organization, and the other piece around you. They are building your ecosystem. You know today. Maybe you have also something where you today have a blind flag. A blind spot is the name, in English, a blind spot, and this word. So add flows, draw arrows for info, material, money, and trust exchange. Take different colors, combine this, mark this way. And then you will see also already bottlenecks in this discussion when you do this exercise, connecting the nodes in the flow for a dedicated purpose. And then maybe as a kind of nicer exercise to combine this with the SDGs, map or tag the SDG impact here. What are the relevance for SDG 9, 12, and 17? Yeah, it's about the industry, it's about KPIs. You have to define what is consumed and so on, and about the partnership topic as well. And mark your hotspots. Use for bottlenecks, maybe a green arrow or a question mark, and for leverage points, a question mark or something like that. Yeah. So you decide what you want to do in this way. So time box, how long you take for that? 10 minutes. Focus on finding one real bottleneck and one high impact leverage point. Keep it concrete and grounded in current reality. And I'm sure you will do this. You will find a blind spot within your organization where you can act as a first step moving on. So identifying bottleneck and leverage. What are common bottlenecks on this? Approval queues, decision waiting for sign off. Data latency, information arriving too late to be useful. Siloed KPIs, matrix that incentivize conflicting behaviors. Yeah, one team is having this KPIs, the other team this KPI, and they're conflicting each other. How inefficient is this? Yeah, and to make here a common way, a common purpose of this organization will also increase here the efficiency. Capacity mismatches, uneven resources, the resource distribution mean to understand where the most people are in the teams. Do they all full allocated, or do they have free time, and how flexible they are to move into the other team to support the team because there are some resources, lacking of resources are visible. Yeah. So high impact leverage here could be shared forecast, transparency on demand planning, means also regular meetings, to sit together on a regular basis, discuss about the results, discuss the open topics, and also, celebrate together and define the next steps for the next time. Joint backlogs, prioritizing work together across entities. Standard interface, reducing friction in technical integration. And visible KPIs, shared dashboards for real-time alignments. So that means also here to have here a dashboard to see, it's also a kind of, I would say, you can also create a celebration out of this. When the dashboard is getting green everywhere, how nice is this for your organization? Of course, it could be that your targets, your KPIs were not ambitious enough, but who cares in this moment? You reached the next step, and make a success, you move forward. And this is very important. And the next life cycle and the next topic to define KPIs is coming soon. Then you can discuss if you need more ambitious target and to get more done as you expected. But the first is the MVP even for your KPI setups. How to map now SDG tags and the matrix, to get an example. SDG 9, industry and innovation, for example. Here you could have one matrix, the one time in full, lead time variance, first pass yield, and so on. And the SDG 12, responsible production, a metric could be here the scrap returns percentage, repair rate, kilowatt per hour, energy per unit produced, or something like that. For the SDG 7 and the partnerships could be a matrix shared dashboard adoption, time to decision, number of active touch points. So when you take care in a crossover border partnerships, and even crossover borders doesn't mean always the country, means also your organization. You have partnerships external. you can define a common dashboard. The tools are available on the market to have here one online dashboard together where you meet or even online together to discuss what was reached, what was done, what will be the next period be in focus, and what we expect out of it. So circle one KPI from the list above that you can realistically influence within the next 2 weeks. This is your action, your next step to think about this. What could be this KPI you want to do or you want to follow in the next 2 weeks to get done or to improve this, yeah? So there, now we move to the activity number 2, the value exchange canvas. And this is between you on the one hand side, this is the light blue color, and the partner, the dark blue color on the other side, is about we give, what asset, data, or access do we provide? And we get what specific value returns to us back. Very open and transparent. And the partner gives you what capabilities or trust do they contribute. And partner gets, how does this collaboration reduce the risk or costs? This is something like a kind of contract between your partner and yourself. And this will create transparency, and this also is related to your monitoring on the end and your regular meeting where you discuss this. Consider these dimensions: data, capabilities, access, brand trust, and incentives. This is very important to have here full documented contract between you and your partner. And doesn't mean you need tons of papers. You need this transparency, maybe one slide where you put on one slide what is your agreement together. Yeah, what you want to reach, maybe on the revenue level, which capabilities you will provide or you need from the partner, what will be given, how you'll get the access to it. What is about the brand trust? Do you get as a common together, or you run under a dedicated brand? Yeah, this needs to be aligned. What is then the incentivation for this? How much you will earn on this? Let's move to this. The next, what is the governance and safety? The foundation of speed is about this. What is also creating the trust on the end? Yeah. Great ecosystems require clear rules of engagement, as I mentioned before, and a culture where it is safe to speak up. Yeah, ambiguity in governance skills, velocity. That means always, if you are angry, then you will not be flexible. Yeah, you will always protect yourself. So again, clear roles, decision roles, SLA standards, how fast something has to be delivered, how fast it has to be maintained, and so on. And if it's needed, also define already the escalation path. So there's no wrong thing to escalate. The escalation path is the fastest supporting line on the end if all your other actions do fail. So to understand the urgency, to involve the right people, and this is the escalation. These people are not angry to be invited in the discussion. These people are happy that you finally ask them to get support where they have also the expertise in. Speak up norm has to be there. It is safe to voice concerns in your organization. This is physiological safety checklist, yeah, more or less. Admit mistakes. Are errors treated as learning opportunities? This is very important. Equal turn taking. Does everyone get a chance to speak? Is there a space to speak and everybody get also even time to speak? Here also other methodologies are possible to use, like Lego serious play. So where everybody get the allowance to speak and everybody has to listen, or the others have to listen what the other person is telling for a dedicated time. And then some challenge ideas where you can critique the idea without attacking the person. Yeah. So this is something what is about from a professional point of view, nice or bad on this idea. And this is very important to get feedback to your MVPs you want to implement. Otherwise, you will not make the progress and will not get the commitment that everybody runs with you on the same way. So action number 3, the 2 weeks partner experiments. Yeah, define with your partner a concrete experiment. Time box this to 2 weeks to ensure clear learning signal without overcommitting resources. This is very important that you have a clear time in your eyes, in your brain, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, what we can reach, what we will do, what is our commitment together. Yeah, for example, start with the hypothesis. If we want to expand in, for example, in Europe with the partner XYZ, then we will have a first meetup where we improve the recognition and the recognition on the market in this area in 2 weeks. Something concrete, something smaller. You see, already what I define currently is a little bit too big. So just take it smaller, what is really possible to do in 2 weeks. Then baseline and scope, current matrix value and sample sizes. So to have really here where we are from now, where we want to be in 2 weeks. We want to have 1 or 2 more contacts because we want to increase our market presence somewhere, or we find out together with our already in place partner. So, but we could say, oh, we will find customers where we have a first introduction of ourselves. First steps for the next 48 hours, immediate action required to launch. So that means what are the next steps we need immediately to go? Maybe to check your marketing material, to check resources available to support here the cold call activities or something like that. Yeah, just as coming up from as an idea now, and then. Some micro rituals to adopt, as I said also already before. So round-robin updates, strict 90 seconds updates per person on a regular basis. In this case, for the next 14 days, maybe every day, short update, 90 seconds per person. What happens, what is done to get here feedback. On the end, after these 2 weeks, you make a retro perspective, review the process after every demo without finger pointing. Yeah, that means you demonstrate what you did, what you have reached in with what you wanted to reach with your hypothesis. It's a kind of epic definition already. And one descent first, so that rotate at the center role to prevent group thinking. So this is also really important to have here from everybody a feedback. And make it visible on a shared, accessible dashboard to both teams at all the times. So that means use technology. They are available in cloud where you have the capabilities to access remotely and everybody has the same view in the same time. I invite you, do this activity, the 2 weeks partner experiment, maybe starting with the first 2 activities to find out your level where you want to improve, where is your bottleneck in your organization, and then based on this, define the activity 3, your hypothesis, baseline and scope, and start implementing this in a fast way, just in 14 days, the first result, and have fun, enjoy. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Wow. As usual, Coach Jana, such an interesting session. And of course, it's very insightful and very well narrated, well presented, and a lot of ideas and guidance on how we can do what we do better. Yeah. So thank you so much, Coach Jana. And dear audience, thank you for being with us. I believe that you would have enjoyed and gained much from our session, from our professional trainer, Coach Jana from Germany. Thank you so much. We'll meet you again on next Thursday with Coach Jana's session. Another session. Bye. Thank you.
So much, Dr. Esther Mahler, and looking forward for next week. Bye-bye.
Yes, me too. I always look forward to your session. Thank you so much.